a nuclear detonation releases an EMP intentionally.
Right.
I'm pretty sure we've isolated and we can generate an EMP.
And the
like
last
a neutron bomb.
Right. And the last several Department of Homeland Security heads have said that, a grid down scenario is one of their number one concern, because there's so many different things that could do it. It could be a solar flare. It could be bad actors. It could be a hack job. And there's all these, if you look into this, there's been so many different electrical grids or the substations around the United States that have been mysteriously hacked and infiltrated by various hackers. It's like, who's doing that and why?
Jimmy, have you ever read the book 1 Minute After?
Yes, actually,
Okay.
yeah. I got it on audiobook. I got a few of those.
It's a good book.
Is that about after the nuclear?
About an EMP. So they shoot an EMP off over the U.S., light it off about 100 miles up or whatever. The EMP takes out the entire grid, and it's based, I think, in North Carolina.
I believe so.
Correct. I think it's Asheville is the area, but it talks about the things that could happen and stuff like that. Newt Gingrich actually wrote the foreword to one of the editions. I'm not sure which one. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, hey, if you guys want a conspiracy, in between now and the next year, I'm convinced that there's going to be some sort of event. They're going to come at us with some sort of curveball. Like they're putting out COVID mandates into the media now. And I'm like, I think that there's a sizable portion of the populace that will not comply. I don't know what the percentage is. Even if it's just 1 out of 3, that's too many. And I don't think that they're going to pull it this time. I'm expecting a curveball. So what better, if you study history and Sun Tzu and the art of war. So instead of nuking us or doing a bomb off the coast to flood us, why not just turn off our lights, let us destroy each other from within? Most people are not prepared. But you know how most people would die if the grid goes down? Waterborne illness. Most people do not have sterile water. We take it for granted. You turn on the faucet and you're fine.
I gotta stop you right there. You said how most people would die?
That might not. All right, most might not be the word.
A significant number.
Millions of people would die from infection of going to the bathroom because their stomachs can't handle that raw water that's going to turn once the water treatment facilities go down. So never mind percentages, but
when the water treatment plants go down, there's no water at all.
Right.
So in places like New York and Chicago, you turn the faucet on and nothing comes out.
And game over, because how many 2 days without water, 3 days, and you're just incapacitated.
I would say by day 2, people are drinking each other's blood.
Yeah,
I am not exaggerating. There was Martyr Maid has this post about what civil war really is and what people don't understand, and it really is something we bring up all the time, that people it's like there's nothing you can do about the fact that people live in movie reality, that they don't think about how the world actually works, and so they imagine people marching with uniforms. Martyr Maid and a couple other people had tweeted, civil war is like everything's, the conflict is happening. You see it on the news. You go to bed and you don't wake up because a warring faction in 3 a.m. sneaks in your house, kills you in your sleep, takes your stuff. Or you wake up and your neighbor's house is on fire and you see his corpse lying on the sidewalk because a warring faction came in and he was a target for some reason. These kinds of things are likely to happen first in a breakdown. So outside of the concept of civil war, right? Let's not be too cliche with timcast here. Let's say EMP bomb, nuclear strike, cyber attack. Rachel Maddow said they're going to shut off our electricity. They could with a cyber attack. Yeah, if our grid goes down, I think if communications go down, that's it. The fabric of the United States evaporates overnight. And you ever play the video game Fallout 3?
Yes.
I love Fallout 3. It's the best video game ever made. One of them. And the Enclave. Let me give everybody a general understanding. I assume most of you know Fallout 3. Some of you might not. In the Fallout series, in 2077, China invades Alaska because there's dwindling fossil fuels and they need access to new resources. War breaks out. Nukes go flying. Planet gets bombarded and most people die. A large portion of people in the U.S. go into underground vaults to try and survive. In Fallout 3, I forgot where I was going with this.
What it would be like, with after the fallout from it? I mean, just the complete societal collapse and everything else?
Yeah, I forgot the point I was going to make because I started explaining the basic story.
It was about the Enclave, and then you're talking about
you got it. There it is.
Communication.
The remnants of civilization.
So in Fallout 3, the bad guys are the Enclave. They're the U.S. government. But they are completely powerless and they have no control over what is the United States. So in the Fallout world, there's the New California Republic, which is the remnants of California are rebuilding and forming their own government. But the Enclave is actually the descendants of U.S. military, U.S. government that went into Mount Weather and other bunkers when the bombs fell. When they emerged, they had no way to control what was left.
The wasteland.
The Apocalyptia.